It's about 8:45 a.m. on Wednesday. It's the 22nd of October 2025, London time or Greenwich Mean Time. You're welcome back. I see a podcast or a video of the Fine Gael leader, Mary Lou MacDonald, talking in Dáil Éireann. She talks under privilege. I don't have privilege once you're outside Dáil Éireann. That means you can be sued if you if you defame somebody and you're not able to defend it. That's why I'm very careful that any defamations I do, I will be able to defend it. Now, now the thing is that the facts I gave last night in my video on the attack on a 10-year-old girl in Tusla Care, in the care of the Irish Child Protection Services, was wrong. The person arrested, a man of Arab origin, he was given a deportation order in March 2025. In March 2025. So roughly 7 months, I would think. So the thing is that this is just a correction and to get that. However, from March to now, there was ample time to get him deported and get him out of here. So it's not been done because the government doesn't want to do it. And enough said about that. Now, I have long said that while our government's energy policy is flawed and based on falsehoods, that their migration policy is worse. One of them destroys the environment, the other one destroys the population and the people. If you don't control your borders, you don't control anything. What's the point in going to war against Russia for invading Ukraine, a country over 1,000 miles away, when we can't protect our own border? Now, some people don't like me talking about Donald Trump. He's the president. He has his good points and bad points, and he seems to have his heart in the right place, though whether his hands are in the right place is another day's work. But the point is, he proved that you can tackle migration. He proved it. You just get it and you do it. And I'm convinced that the problem with our government here, and the same thing with the Starmer government in Britain, they don't know where to start. They don't know where to do anything. Can't do anything which requires a practical application. So our country's running more or less on automatic pilot on what was built on, and the systems that were built years ago when there was a bit of common sense. Now, I make the point about Helen McEntee. How come she's the way she is? And it's very hard to know. She's more left than anything in Dublin, anything in People Before Profit, and these democratic parties that call themselves People this and People that. And I make the point that the Labour and all of those, they need a constant stream of so-called poor people. The proper way of running a country is that the poor people get a leg up and they do well through hard work. Give them a chance and they come up. And when they get up, they become property owners and they have a stake in society, and they don't need a party like Sinn Féin, and they don't need a party like People Before Profit, Labour or any of these, because they have left that. They have flown the nest. So the left-wing parties need a constant supply of poor people, and in order to get that, they have to bring them in from anywhere without any vetting or anything else. Whereas what Ireland needs is a proper, regular and a vetting type system. I was involved in that myself for 16 years and we did it very good. It can be done. Okay, you go up to Nobber, you see a big new school, a brand new school. You see this all over the country, but in Nobber it stands out that it's Helen McEntee's secondary school. But look at the price. Look at the price. You could have a politician in Nobber and a minister who would build the secondary school, do good works, and not do the destruction on the other hand. It's a trade-off. You can't have a school, according to Helen McEntee, unless you bring in thousands and thousands of migrants and buy every hotel in the country, decimate your tourist industry. And this is what people have to realise. We may see a change. There is a change happening in Europe. The people on my side of the debate, who are called right-wing, may make mistakes and may get it wrong. I think I would do it better. I wouldn't make those mistakes and get it wrong. But they won't be perfect. And so people will not tolerate it. And in America, the election of Donald John Trump, which was a very resounding victory, was a direct reaction to the madness of the US Democratic Party. It's into all this mad woke stuff. And the Supreme Court backed Trump to go into the cities and rip out the migrants and horse them out. And that's been done. I think he's a man called Tom Homan is doing it, and that's been done with great success. They're rioting. They had a big protest, No Kings protest, allegedly financed by a crowd started up by George Soros, and other left-wing players in the market. Nobody believes they're real. They're being paid to protest. Whereas last night, after the attack in Dublin, the Gardaí were attacked at the City West Hotel, and there was very terrible violence there. And the point about this is, the Gardaí, instead of looking after the people, as happened when I was a guard, you looked after the people, you went after the criminals, and you brought them in and you kept them down. We were keeping them down. And that created an environment where everyone, including children, at least had a safe place to go. We weren't always successful, but we were quite a lot successful. Now, when you should be out catching the villains, you have to turn on the people who overreact. So what happened in City West last night in Saggart in County Dublin, what happened was the people just can't take it anymore. I mean, it's not humanly normal not to be outraged at an attack on a 10-year-old girl. It's not a normal thing. It's not instinctive. So people react in different ways. I would urge caution not to attack guards, and that they're people as well. Some of them may be midway through their service. They have a lot of pension gathered up. What are they to do? The fault goes back to the polling booth, not to be taken in by these left-wing ghouls. Are the people of Saggart, County Dublin, round City West Hotel, are they so impoverished that they have to resort to voting for candidates that support the attack on girls? Are they? What kind of a Tusla organisation is it? This is a political matter. This is the Pied Piper coming out before an election. Vote for me. I'm Paul Murphy. I'm Richard Boyd Barrett, and looking for votes. What are you getting for your votes? You look at the amount of them that's in. You're getting more of this. And this is only the start of a deliberate policy to destroy our country. And the EU is complicit in this. And with Fine Gael, they never try and shape EU policy. In Hungary, in Slovakia, there's pushback against the wicked woman, Ursula von der Leyen, and they're trying to push her back. But and Trump is telling her, you fight the war yourself. And that's the right way. But they are given no pushback. It's whatever. If she says you jump to Micheál Martin and to Simon Harris, they'll say, how high? If Helen McEntee becomes leader of Fine Gael and Jim O'Callaghan becomes leader of Fianna Fáil, when she shouts, jump, they'll shout, how high? And that's what Irish politics has sank to. And Irish people can do it to change this. And those who don't vote at all can do it by coming down. We had Irish Freedom Party in the last election, or other similar candidates, and they didn't support them. And then you got the monk coming out, and he destroyed any chance we had of getting a seat in Dublin. They voted for him. A man with a criminal past. How can that happen? Well, that is happening, and that's the bizarre thing about it. Meanwhile, the war clouds are gathering. They're leading us straight into the war, and they're trying to leave our children with nothing, only join the army. They won't be able to get a house. The jobs won't pay anything worthwhile. They'll have to live with their parents forever, and they'll offer the army, join the military. And when they get you in there, they'll plod you into the war in Ukraine. And if you want to listen to the Kerry Recruit, the Dubliners used to sing it about the Crimean War, and listen to Finbarr Fury, How do you do Young Willie McBride? Just look at that. Just look at that song. Or how do you do Young Willie McBride? Do you mind if I sit here by your graveside? That is, somebody started that war, and they started again and again, and now we have the left wing, the entire politic of Ireland, siding with Ursula von der Leyen, who craves war, so that the young lad down in Athy, the young lad down in Tumivara, has nothing to turn to, only go and join the military and be put into the meat grinder, just the same as the world is putting young Ukrainian boys into the meat grinder right now. This is the lie that's been told. The lie, a lie, a lie. We should have nothing to do with it. We should mind our own borders. We shouldn't have signed up to any migration pact. They signed up with gusto. Oh, I'm a great fella here. I'll sign up for Ireland here. That's the sad fact. And who's going to join the Guards now? I was talking to a man yesterday, and he says his son was thinking about it as a career, but he says, I'll put him off joining it. And I says, well, look, I don't want to influence you. I hate to do that. Without a good Guard service, we have no law or order at all. And I can tell you, those people who run in their 40s and 50s and vote for Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael and Sinn Féin, someday you will get old. And I said that in the video. I was a bit high last night, and I accept that. Well, what's wrong with being repulsed at the attack of a 10-year-old girl? Oh, what's wrong with that? Is it abnormal? Am I abnormal? Someone posted, calm down, Val. Calm down. Why should we calm down? But the anger must be directed towards our neighbours that will continue to vote for the ordinary parties. This is a political matter, and changing it is not easy. My contribution is, as a relatively balanced person normally, and a farmer with cows and all that, and doing workshop stuff and that people will see that there's something in what I'm saying. You just cannot go into a polling booth and vote just because of something that happened 100 years ago. Okay, folks, God help us, it is sad. It is sad to see it. And Mary Lou is on about what happened. But they started this. They started, and they didn't stand up for any of this or the buying of any of these hotels or anything. There is a bill going through the Dáil. There is a bill. And that I just heard it on the radio yesterday in a shop with noisy background. I think it's Michael Henderson. Now, we need to come after him. I need details on him. I want facts. I'll go up, if he lives in Dublin, I want to call to his house. We must face that fella down. He's the Irish Migrant Council. We got to hammer him. We're going to hammer him down. We got to put him out. Is he getting grants from the government? How do we find out that? What's he getting to plug this? Is he making a living out of it? Because a lot of the lawyers are making a living. And of course, as everyone posts here, we got to pull out of the International Court of Human Rights, that we have to get out of that. It's time we took control. All right, folks, that's the best I can do. Thank you for tuning in. We have to deal with the topical things of the day. Good luck. We'll see you back. Thank you.